Hey everyone, welcome back and happy Saturday. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed Hot Messy Topics yesterday. It was a great Hot Messy Topics. Now, obviously, it's the weekend. Jason, and I always talk to you guys about this. Jason always says you need to take Saturday or Sunday off. Well, tomorrow it's supposed to be storming all day, so I'm not going to sit in the house and not work. And then today, I was like, well, there's stories to be done. And next week, I'm going out of town for mom's birthday. So I was like, I'll just take a day off next week. How about I just keep working? All right. Especially if there's something to talk about. So before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell for Mayday over here. And yeah, I say let's just jump right in, shall we? All right, guys. So yeah, there's lots to talk about, lots to discuss, especially after this book came out. My Good Side, the memoir for Scheana, which a major congratulations to Scheana for making the New York Times bestseller list. I think listen, that's everybody's dream. I did see, again, I said this yesterday, a lot of comments just talking about the fact that, well, that New York Times bestsellers list looks like some of the orders were bought in bulk, but I feel like everybody does that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Anyways, I'm not going to knock her success. So, moving on. Lala Kent ended up teasing a bigger role and stance on the Valley, but also she talked Scheana. So she teased that she might have a much bigger role on season 3 of The Valley following Jax Taylor's exit, though she didn't confirm details. But she explained that after focusing on motherhood during her pregnancy, which that was the whole thing, and early infancy, her life is becoming chaotic again, and suggesting that she's a little bit more ready to return more fully. But as far as Sheena's relationship update, she confirmed that her and Scheana still remain close. They live near each other. Their daughters play together. They've stayed in touch since the memoir's release. So the thing is with Lala, though, Lala and Scheana are very natural, easy integrations into the Valley. Now, I think that some of the cast members on the Valley probably don't want more Vanderpump Rules people, because then let's say you have Brittany, Jax is out for season 3. I don't know if he'll be out for good or if he's going to be on pause, but say Brittany, Jax, Kristen, Dodie, okay, right out of the gate. Boom. Now, say you add Scheana and Lala, essentially, and Brock, that would technically be 6 Vanderpump Rules cast members if Jax did return. And then you have Danny, Nia, Luke, Jesse, Michelle, Jasmine, her girlfriend, Zach, and 8 people who would not necessarily have ever been on Vanderpump Rules. It's still a mix-up. It's kind of like having a Vanderpump Rules and just bringing on new castmates. Anyways, first of all, the show needs to switch up the format a little bit anyways, because season 2 was incredibly dark. And I think that NBC and Bravo, they're making smart business decisions in removing people, segueing other people, trying to shift focus and keep the show very much so alive. And at the end of the day, I do honestly, and I believe this, if you try to make everyone happy, which is what Bravo did during the pandemic, when they were changing up some of the shows, firing people that they thought people wanted to be fired, hiring people, recasting things, rebooting things. They were trying to make everybody happy, which at the end of the day makes nobody happy. So, yeah. Moving on, back to it. So, since this whole endorsement, she publicly praised Sheena's memoir, My Good Side, predicting that it would hit a New York Times bestseller list, which it did. So, yeah. And her memoir, My Good Side, Scheana did reveal that she confided in some of the Vanderpump Rules cast members about her husband's affair, and several of them leaked her personal story to others, which she said is why she withheld it initially. But she criticized some of her castmates for not promoting her book, while she has supported their ventures, calling it a significant betrayal. Now, she said that she avoided discussing Brock's affair during Vanderpump Rules, which we talked about. And she said she did that in order to protect her marriage, her emotions, and her family, but ultimately chose to tell it all in her book when she was ready. And Brock told her that if she was going to include the story, she needed to go all in, no vague hints. And he reportedly read the chapter only after the publication. But Scheana said, I no longer believe in forever, reflecting lingering doubts post-affair, even as the couple rebuilds. Oh my God. Now, as far as some of her celebrity hookup revelations, she named Shemar Moore as the best celebrity lover that she's had, which I don't think any of us are shocked by that. And then Adrian Grenier. Do you guys remember Adrian Grenier, right? From Devil Wears Prada? I actually have another friend who was hooking up with Adrian Grenier. She's a lesbian now. But she said that he was terrible. So Scheana's story with Adrian Grenier checks out if I'm comparing the only other story that I've ever heard about him in bedtime performance. That's awkward. Sorry, dude. Anyways, moving on. We're not here to talk about Adrian Grenier's sex life because that's embarrassing. Shemar is probably like, you could talk about mine all day because apparently it's not, because I was the best she ever had. But hold on. Kristen Doty. So thank you to Byway Hello Drama. Kristen Doty also made a good point by calling out Scheana for manufacturing drama. And Scheana recently admitted that the Vanderpump Rules season 9 was scripted. And Kristen says that that kind of drama isn't going to fly on the Valley. So if Scheana and Lala want to be a part of the show, then they need to keep it real. And also when the Vanderpump Rules girls faked a fight, they didn't even loop in production. So hopefully the Valley team is cool with their cast manufacturing storylines and then spilling the tea about it later in a book.
Would you want her to be a permanent fixture on the Valley?
I was definitely like against it in the last couple of years past, like her, Lala, but I feel like I've just like thrown my hands up. So if that is what is going to be, then I'm very open to it. And honestly, maybe it'll be for the better that as long as there's authenticity on their side, I think it could be really good for the show.
Yeah.
I'm worried because of what I've watched as a viewer on the last couple of seasons of Vanderpump. I felt like there was a lot of celebrity, and I've said this before, like celebrity about them. And even Scheana coming out and saying that the finale of whatever season of Vanderpump, they scripted it, like that shit's not going to fly on the Valley. Not with me. But if they can both be, or Scheana especially, like just be super authentic, I think it could be really good for the show because there's a lot of history there.
Well, that's what's so, I think, would you want her to be a permanent?
Okay. Well, I mean, that makes sense. No, like I agree with Kristen. We don't want a scripted bullshit garbage trash can of a show. So, okay. I want to hear what you guys think about what Kristen had to say about Scheana and rating our best performers and our worst in the bedroom. And then also Lala teasing a full-time role. Guys, pop off in the comment section. Smash the like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Show some love. And happy Saturday.